Blactrospective.
Welcome to Blactrospective. I'm your girl Mo.
And I'm East.
And we are here to interview Mr. McKinnon. He is a lyricist.
Yes.
What else to your title? Go ahead and let us know.
Man.
Let us know what you identify as.
But yes, I am a lyricist. I'm an MC, comedian, model. Yeah, we'll stop there. We'll stop there.
He's like model.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, all I'm saying is Crest, they be playing games. And they just need to hire me already because I know I can sell toothpaste.
Hey.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Hey, man.
Just so you know, Crest.
That's it. Just so you know.
He's out here. He is out here.
Any one of y'all.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
So the very first time I saw you,
yes,
we both saw you, was at the Freedom Live performance.
Yes.
So how did you get connection with that?
Man, that's a wonderful story. One of my friends, he's actually coming. One of my friends, SB, I called him when I walked out of my job, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is just, it's taxing. Being on the phone constantly is just, I feel like the brain is only meant to do that for so long.
Yes.
So it's like, it just has a short lifespan. So long story short, I got sick of that, and then I called him, and then he was like, yo, you should apply, or you should try out for this thing, this Freedom Live event, this Freedom Live tour. It's supposed to be happening. Hattie Inez is the creative director and all the things with that. And he goes, yeah, I think you would be really dope fit for it. So I tried out, I sent the submission. I forgot what body of work I did.
You definitely did Ode to Black Women.
Yes, so.
But also the Black Lives Matter performance.
Yes, so I did do Black Lives Matter and Fear at Dr. Phillips. But for my audition, she ended up coming to an open mic, Respectful Mic. She actually ended up coming there and by happenstance saw me do Ode to Black Women after I sent the audition in. So she was just like, oh, he's not just like audition dope, he's actually dope. So that's how that happened. And then she assigned me on, and then we spent it felt like about a year just building the things up, and any connects that I had around the Juneteenth event last year, like Juneteenth MLK stuff, any connections I made around that event I used to be able to try to promote the event as much as possible, because I really believe in the message and the heart behind creative purpose productions and what it's meant for, dealing with mental health along the Black community, just giving kids and everybody different resources to be able to express yourself therapeutically through the arts. So with that, that's just something that I could fully give myself to, because it's something that I actually believed in. So that's how that started. And then, you saw me at Freedom Live. You saw the end result of all the rehearsals and all the things. So yeah.
Yes, it was an amazing performance. I believe that they have DVDs and things available for people to purchase, right?
TBD. You got to ask Hattie about that.
Okay.
I don't speak on the creative.
For the creative.
Yes, so I want to speak for them.
Don't quote me on that, people. Don't quote me on that.
But there is supposed to be content that's supposed to be coming out for that. So I'm looking forward to that too. So I put they made a highlight reel package that I posted on my page. But the full, it's supposed to be a documentary and some other things. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to become a lyricist?
That is a phenomenal question. I had this when I was getting my locks done the other day, I told them. So that's a loaded question. I'm gonna try to make it concise, but I'm terrible. I'm verbose, very much so. So my love for rap started off when the first time I seen the Changes music video with Tupac.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I'd already liked it, but then that was I love this thing.
Yes.
And then fast forward to 2004 when Jay-Z came up with the Fade to Black documentary. When I seen the audience, he's performing there in Madison Square Garden. He sold it out in a day. And then it just dawned on me that somebody from that side of the arena and somebody from the other side of the arena probably wouldn't stand to be in the same room with each other, but they're all there for this one thing. And then that was that's what I want to do. And then that's how that started. And so I started writing, and then another catalyst. You know, it's almost weird. Like, you don't want to mention this person's name because they always go spaz out online. Soulja Boy.
Oh.
You know, Crank That and all that stuff.
Yes.
So during his era, when the music started changing, and it was like everybody had the same. It was him, D4L, the Franchise Boys. Everybody had the.
The synchronized or organized dancing.
Yeah,
which I love.
Yeah, so that's great. So as a lyricist, though, for me, I was like, I felt like that guy that you become like a doctor because somebody close to you gets sick, and you're like, and then you can't do anything about it. So you're just. It's sad to see somebody like being sick or dying, and you're powerless. Yeah. So it sounds extreme, but that's how I felt. That's how I felt when it came to lyricism, based on the trend that things were happening. I was like, I feel like I can't allow this to happen to the thing that I love. Right. So I have to do something about it. Right. And then so that was the push also to be like, this can't be the new rap. It can't be. And then it can't be the only way. It can't. So I took it personal. Like, what did Michael say, or Kobe? What interview was it? It was like, I took that personally. It was Michael. I took that personally. And I was just like, man, so all of my lyricist heroes, Jay-Z's and Tupac's, at that time, I remember Nas came out with Hip Hop Is Dead. So, I mean, that just told you, like, the times that it was. The change of the times. That were appreciating lyricism and hip hop, what the universal feeling was amongst lyricists. Mm-hmm. But as time changes, you know, it's like I have my guilty pleasures, and I have, you know, I have stuff that I dance to and I can rock with and whatnot now. So I don't take it as personally now, because I feel like it's a lot more well balanced now than it was. It's just that you have to look for.
And it also seems because you're actively doing something about it, so now it doesn't bother you so much.
Correct.
You're like, okay, I'm out here to save hip hop.
Yeah. That's how I felt. I was like, I took it personal. It was so serious. But yeah, man. But so that was the genesis of me becoming a lyricist. Okay. Yeah.
So you already talked about some of your inspirations. So you already said Tupac. You mentioned Jay-Z. You mentioned Nas. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody else, even if it was like from a familial standpoint, that kind of motivated you or pushed you into that direction as well?
Well, my mom is a writer, and I don't think that I really recognized it as such until I got older. Mm-hmm. But her writing was more so like, if back in the day, if you had an issue with a company and you call them and then you ain't like how the person treated you, you're like, I'm writing a letter to corporate. Yeah. Just like, and then that's how you're gonna get the things accomplished. I didn't recognize that that's like the gene that had came in. And she's creative too. Like, my mom's funny, but I don't think that, again, as a kid, I really got to see that from the lens of a son. As you don't really see your parents until you're an adult yourself, and you're 100%. Like, oh, they're just a human being that's trying it out. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't know. You know what I mean? So I didn't get to see that quality of her until I became like an adult myself. So her, I think that influences me, and my brother, he's the poet laureate. So like the writing gene is just like it's in my DNA. And then so family wise, you said familial, that's it comes from that. My dad, he liked to play the guitar when he was younger. I think if he picked it up and put it down. And then professionally, there's more. I mean, the Lil Waynes. Yes. He definitely helped my pen game, Eminem. Where it's just like the rhyming sequence and the structure. I already know the core of the content that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But as far as how do I put some entertainment on it, put a spin on it to where it's like, you're teaching, but you're not boring. Mm-hmm. It's like you need teachers, but like if you're boring, it's like you're gonna miss the message. Yeah. Right. So you got to find a way to spice it up with some seasoning on that thing. Right. So that's where the Wayne and Eminem like that came from. Yeah.
So in terms of like representation, who's someone that has been iconic as far as that? Like when you think of like your messaging, like Ode to Black Women and I Love My Brothers. Mm-hmm. What representation do you remember seeing? Growing up or even now?
So like in terms of the content, I think, man, but back then it definitely had to be Tupac. He had a lot of sides to him. So when he did Keep Your Head Up, The Changes, Dear Mama, things like that. But present day, Man, I feel like the closest people to that are the J. Cole and Kendrick. They're like the faces of it. But yeah, honestly, so the Creed 3 soundtrack just came out, and then J. Cole, Dreamville did that whole.
Ooh, you know it's gonna be hot then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Completely sold out for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Man, I needed to get my tickets. I told, yeah, it's fine.
General admission's the only thing left available, right?
Oh
Any
man.
other extra packages is done for.
So I love the fact that J. Cole is for the content that he creates, that he's as successful as he is. He may not be as like on every billboard like Drake's and
Commercialized.
commercialized or whatnot. But as far as the heart of his music, when you listen to the heart of what he's saying, he's that guy. So definitely he's top tier. Every time I hear him, I'll be like, nah, man, he's over these people.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, those are the people I feel like that represent that. And then you got Wale's too. Can't forget about him. I know he gets, I don't know, I feel like he's not mentioned as much as he should be.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is. Everybody, you have what's popular and then you have what you like. So
listen,
man.
Wale.
I like me some Wale.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wale, most underrepresented, like underdog. Love him.
Yeah.
Love Wale.
Yeah, he's dope. I wrote a couple of songs to his music too. So that's how you know if I like an artist. You consistently make music that I'm like, I want to know what my version of this would sound like. If I had this beat, what would it do? And then so Wale is definitely one of them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm like like fireball questions. So then in terms of Ode to Black Women, like for people who haven't heard it, like can you kind of sum up like the messaging for that?
Yeah, Ode to Black Women is basically like an accountability message amongst the men in our community, in the Black community. When I was younger, I never met my grandmother on my father's side. She was a victim of domestic violence. And I don't know, even before I think I knew that information, it always bothered me seeing like men beating on women. And when we were going through the COVID pandemic, it was also George Floyd. And it was like, I saw videos of like this kid, he threw a Black woman in a dumpster because she didn't want to give him her number. And then there was some other things I had seen. It just felt like there's never a great time for that, but it's like that felt like it was the worst time to be doing that. I'm like, at this time, this is the time where we should be solidified and unified. And so it just bothered me enough to where I was like, man, what can I do? How can I participate in trying to make this better? And sometimes you don't know how to. I was just like, you know, we did a lot of the marching, you know, that's what I talked about in BLM. I was like, I don't want to do any more marches. Like, I understand what was effective at that time, and we felt like that's what worked before, so that's what we need to go back to. But it just kind of felt like there needs to be something else I can do to impact a larger audience and just in the messaging. So, well, the Black women, that's pretty much what it is. It's a message about how there are Black men in our community that want to protect our Black women. I know how Black women speak about feeling the most undervalued and underprotected. And it was important for me to show that even in the music video, like everybody that's in the video either was married at the time or is still married, but it was all Black couples. Like everybody that was in that video. So it was important for me to show like this is the world that I know. I know what it can be. So what's out there and how people don't feel or women don't feel protected, I wanted to show like you can and you do, but I also can't ignore why you feel that way.
Right.
So I'm going to address that first, and then I'm going to show you like how I want to elevate you and, you know, and show love. So yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, all the Black women.
All the Black women. And then I love my brothers. Same question, but for I love my Black brothers.
Yes. So I
love my brothers.
Yeah, all good. I love my brothers. I'm gonna have to change it. It's called Therapeutic, but I'm gonna give it like, you know, those double title songs.
Yes.
Yes. So I love my brothers. That came from a conversation I was having with my loctician actually. We were just having a conversation, and usually I would feel anxious to like I have to leave because of the environment that I was in. I felt like I was always on edge in the in the relationship that I was in, and it just felt very therapeutic to just feel relaxed and calm and talk to one of my brothers about just life and stuff that was going on. And then one of them old Lil Wayne tracks played in my head. I think it was I don't remember, but it was one of his mixtape songs. And then I was like, I really like that beat, and then I'd listen to that, and I would just write in the car or like on the way. Don't do this, but I'm very spontaneous at times. I'm like, when it hits me, when inspiration hits, I have to act soon. And if I don't,
You'll forget
I
it.
be lost. So
Same.
So I was writing to that, and that's how that came from. It was just a really good conversation amongst two black men that just was, sharing. And it felt good. It felt therapeutic. So I was like, man, I think this is good because, again, in the messaging in it, it's like we can talk about our feelings. It's not weak to do so. We have this thing where we have to be, man and protectors and strong and all of those things, but it's not. We're not robots. We're not machines. There's a nuance to it. There's a nuance to it, for lack of a better term. I know that some people, it's like it almost still feels like it's a polarizing subject for men to talk about their feelings in a safe space. Either it's too soft or it's like it's something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's a lie. It's not soft. If you don't know how to manage your emotions or you don't know how to communicate your thoughts and whatnot, and you're just acting irrationally and being overly emotional, that's another conversation. But as far as like, that hurt me, that really bothered me, or like I'm tired when I get off or whatnot. I'm like my short temper is coming from this. Like you have to be able to express that. Otherwise, you're just raging like Neanderthals.
Right.
There's never a point of growth.
Yeah. So that's where that came from. And so that's one of my favorite things to perform, really, because I love seeing other guys like their eyes light up. If I say a particular line, or they like, you could tell when somebody feels seen in a thing. Excuse me. But I try to let it not interrupt the when I'm in the middle of the performance. But I love it. I love what it does that, because I'm naturally an encourager. I like to uplift people and speak life into them. That's just my nature, and I feel like it's important. And if men aren't gonna do that, like, we can't look for that from somewhere else.
Right.
So we got to be able to be the ones to do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do my part to break the stigma. All the stuff always comes from me doing my part. How can I help? That's really the genesis.
That's all you can do. Like, I feel like if you do that as an individual, if everybody does their part, and then we're all moving in the same motion, that's how you create change, and that's how it's like a bigger impact.
So, absolutely.
So I love it. So if there's anything that you want to say to your audience, your fans, the people that are checking for you, go ahead and let them know.
I love you. I want you to be kind to yourself. Think of how far you've come, and know that it's, the story is still going. It's not over. You're not dead yet. So keep moving, and make sure you continue to edify yourself with things that bring fulfillment to you. Seek fulfillment and purpose, and you're gonna be fine.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Anybody feel inspired?
Right.
Shoot, I'm ready to change the world right now.
Let's do it.
So where can your fans find you if you're not already following?
Yes, you can find me at Mr.McKinnon. It's Mr.McKinnon on like everything except for TikTok and Twitter. TikTok and Twitter, it's MisterMcKinnon. But yeah, Mr. McKinnon on all social platforms. And man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me. But yeah, anytime y'all want to rap or talk again, we'll find another cool location. And
yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
I just want to wrap up by saying that you can find us at Blactrospective on Instagram, Spotify, and anywhere else. Facebook coming soon, and also YouTube coming soon. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. See you later.
Blactrospective.